If you are like, this is my pet peeve. Like, I didn't sell something to a guy because he did this to me. He came in and I had a packaged little Mario Game & Watch that I was trying to sell for a very good price. Like, I try to go to 20% under the average price on eBay for it.
Yep.
That's generally what I sell my stuff for. And I do know, I'm a collector, I do know roughly what all this stuff is to buy. And some guy came up to me and offered me a ridiculous price for it. And I said, no, probably not. And he goes, well, and he started pointing out faults with it. And I just looked and went, dude.
It's not going to get you anywhere, mate.
I've got eyes. I can see. He goes, well, maybe at the end of the day. I said, yeah, maybe at the end of the day. And it was still there at the end of the day. And he came in, he had his money in his hand. He goes, all right, well, I'll grab that for that. And I said, no. Or why not? I said, I don't want to sell it anymore. Because he was not a nice person.
Comes back to the be nice.
Yep.
Just be nice.
Be nice.
Be nice.
Also, and this happened at the weekend. I'll read out what I've written here.
On the weekend?
Last weekend. Also, don't tell
story.
people a game is fake unless you 100% know what you are talking about, or I may have to resist the urge to kick you in the neck.
Ooh.
So I was at Greenlight Comics,
Violent.
where
Yes.
King Kaiju Collectibles has his collection. He has a lot of Japanese games.
Yeah.
And I was there
I've looked
looking at
through
the
it
comics,
many times.
which is near all the stuff, and an individual came in who was, I would guess, around 20, 21 years old. So not really, around the era when these games came out.
Yeah.
And sat
Probably
there
not born
with his friend, telling them how, oh my God, I can't believe they're selling fake games.
Ugh.
Look, that game's fake. That game's fake. That you can tell because of this. That game's fake. Went to one of the owners of Greenlight, called them over.
Who was it?
It was Ross. And started telling them off for selling fake games.
I can't imagine Ross taking any of that.
No, well, Ross was just stood there and goes, and just let him talk. And then said, could all those things be because these are actually Japanese games? And the guy went, what? But the things he was pointing out, like, you can see the case here is 2 different colors, so that means they've taken it off. No, that's called sun damage or smoke damage. Thing from Japan is there are a lot of heavy smokers there.
A lot of yellowing.
Damages plastic.
A lot of yellowing.
Any plastic. It all goes yellow. Especially if you also have your game system in the sun. It's been sitting in your control deck or out where it's exposed to sun. Guess what? That plastic deteriorates. It happens. So know your stuff before you go around swinging your
proverbial
knowledge club or toothpick, as it may be.
On a different side of this, please don't claim things are real if they are fake.
Yeah.
If you got a fake thing, sell it for a fake price.
Well, it comes down to the be nice thing.
Yeah.
I had that as well. I was selling a friend's collection of Pokemon games, and he had a real Pokemon Diamond, and he had a fake Pokemon Pearl. Pokemon Diamond goes for about 120. So at the fair, I had that, and then I had Pokemon Pearl next to it, and I wrote on there, reproduction copy, reproduction case, $10. And whenever someone came and looked at it, I told them it was a fake. It still worked. You could still play the game.
Exactly the same. It's just
but it was a fake.
Yeah.
In the end, all I did was whoever bought, when I in the end sold Pokemon Diamond, the real one,
in the other one, didn't
I
you?
just gave it to him. I said, here, do you want this? Because
chucked it
it's
in.
not a real one. Like, it's a fake.
It's cool. It still plays exactly the same, though.
Correct.
Like,
so if you just want to play the game, that's fine. If you're a collector, then,
What about places that you might do some retro game hunting?
Well, I've developed lists for specific places where you might find some retro games as well. So we're going to kick it off with garage sales, which is sort of like the last vestige of bargains. And even them are becoming
You're
very
never quite
few
sure what you're going to find.
and very far between. And it requires a lot of legwork and petrol at the moment.
I
It's,
find
oh my
it
goodness.
a lot harder to find them now because you used to just be able to look in the paper.
Yeah.
And they were always listed in the paper for when they were going to be on the weekends.
Gumtree now is generally like the day before.
okay.
Gumtree, you just type in garage sale and they'll pop up where they are. Or what I like to do is, all right, one of my big tips here. King Kaiju's not going to like this, but he hasn't watched the show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Going to get him to watch this one.
Yeah,
I'm going to message him now.
you go to sort of the upper middle class areas and you
The
just drive
higher
around.
socioeconomic.
Yep, and you just drive around looking for garage sale signs. Because generally, these people, money isn't a thing. They're just trying to get rid of junk.
It's less of a thing. They just want to move stuff out of their house.
So I've got things like a PS2 Slim for $10.
Yeah,
that was still
that's
hooked up to their TV because I asked if they had video games and they went, yeah, we'll get this, $10. I've got DSs for $5. I've got a box DS for $20.
Nice.
Just because they just want it gone. They bought it or their kids have moved out of the house and gone off to uni or wherever.
Yeah.
and they just want all this stuff gone. So that's generally where I start to look. But Floppy, you want to go with the first point we got here?
First point I've got is go to the ones where kids are moving out.
Yep.
If you know that, or in high socioeconomic areas, because more often than not, they're just wanting to get rid of stuff.
Which is what we just said. I didn't read my own notes. Sorry.
Yeah. So kids are moving out. They might be getting rid of all of that old video game stuff as well.
And always ask if there are any video game stuff.
Ask
to
nicely
be had.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So
nice.
we went to one of our retro hunting days. We called in on a garage sale and they didn't have anything. And we sort of said, "Oh, have you got any video game stuff?" And the lady went, "Oh yeah, hang on," and came out with a shoebox. Like she wanted probably a good price for a majority of the stuff, but I think I got a Street Fighter game that I didn't have.
You got a couple of things out of there. I think I got a Tekken.
Yeah, and I got a Street Fighter game that was not in my collection, so I bought that. Again, it was probably the right price for it. We weren't really getting a bargain, but it was a bargain because I was adding it to my collection.
It wasn't a bargain price, but it was a decent price, and it was cool stuff.
Yeah. Anto?
So we've had a couple of questions pop up.
Okay, yes.
The first one was, this is probably relevant to the garage sale thing. When do you personally think it's appropriate to ask if there is something that they're not displaying but selling?
So best time is when they greet you. Hey, how you going? Yeah, good. When they say, are you looking for anything in particular?
9 times out of 10, they'll ask you what you're looking for anyway.
Yep. And that's where you go, do you have any video game stuff? Be as general as possible.
Cool.
So I go, any video game stuff. And they go, we might have, and sometimes you go, we got an old Atari, we got a PlayStation 3. I once got a PlayStation 3 in its box for $5 because it was just on their garage shelf.
Crikey.
And I saw it and I said, any video game stuff? And they went, I don't think so. And I said, what about that? It was a bit rude. It was on their shelf.
That'd probably a little bit more. I probably wouldn't go quite that far.
Probably was a bit rude, but in the end, she said, "Yeah, right, for $5," and I got a box PlayStation 3 for $5.
Nice.
I ended up moving it on because I only collect Nintendo, but still.
So the second one, there's actually a bit of discourse in the chat about it at the moment between Game Boy Dad and Cat Like Sparky. Mm-hmm. Have you come into any situations where a reproduction cart or a fake game is worth more than the real one because of weird glitchiness or like a fix that maybe
some of the Pokemon ones?
I haven't. But
yeah, some of the Pokemon ones, obviously not as much as the original Pokemon games, but some of the Pokemon ones get up there, like Pokemon Black.
Really? The reproductions become worth more?
Yeah, well, they're almost game hacks. So they're not real official carts. They're hacks that people have put together to make the game harder or... so I think Pokemon Black is the one where you have a ghost sprite as your partner, and every time you defeat a trainer... They don't just stay there. It's a tombstone. Like your Pokemon kills them.
Jeez.
And you go throughout the whole game and you finish the game and you kill everyone and you become the overlord. And then it goes 30 years later and the Pokemon comes for you. And that's it. The game ends with you dying because your Pokemon comes to you in the end. So
crazy.
Not really. I like picking up pirated carts, especially like Street Fighter and multi-carts.
Yeah, because you like having the weird stuff.
Funny stuff on there. There's some hilarious things. So yeah, not generally worth more, but always a good time to sit down and play. Who's up for the next one? Is it
me, I think.
Okay.
If they do happen to have video game stuff and they do know what they have, so they have priced it accordingly, don't try and haggle too much. Of course, be nice. Let them know what you're willing to spend. If they don't agree, leave it for someone else.
Yep. Again, coming back to how we discussed before, if you're not willing
to
pay that and you're not a reseller, you're a collector, like if they got something that you have priced yourself at about $100 and they want to sell it for $150 and you'll be willing to go to $120 because you really want that piece in your collection, but they will not budge at $150, you have to make the decision as to whether you're going to take that hit in order to have that in your collection. I will say this though, the way the retro video game market is going, it continues to go up and up and up. You pay that $150 now, you will only have to wait 6 months before it'll be actually worth that. So it just depends why you would be collecting anyway. As we've stated before, I like video game history. I like Nintendo history. So I like to get things that I feel are significant to Nintendo. So first-party games and weird-ass peripherals that no one else has got.
I love peripherals.
They're so stunning.
I don't collect much stuff apart from the games themselves and some weird peripherals.